Hi, Sandra Wilson here. I am a clinical hypnotherapist and I help people who pull out their hair compulsively and pick their skin compulsively, amongst other things. Now, you might not necessarily recognise the term trichotillomania or dermatillomania, but you might notice that the conditions are present for you. You might have both, you might have one or the other. So have you ever noticed that when you look at your hair, it's full of little bald patches because you've been pulling it out, often without even realising you're doing it. And this is very, very common. So you might care deeply about how you look. Otherwise, you brush your teeth, you're tidy, you try to dress well or appropriately for whichever circumstance. It matters to you how you look. So what's gone wrong? What is it about hair pulling and skin picking that drives you to stop caring almost enough about how you look that you are prepared to carry on doing it? And I think this often is the million-dollar question for people who struggle with it. So ordinarily it matters, but when it comes to trying to stop pulling your hair out, stop picking your skin, often it is not enough. You really do care, but that feeling of caring about how you look, the face you present to the world, isn't enough to stop the compulsive behaviour. So why do sufferers behave in such a seemingly self-destructive way? Is it a habit? If it was just a habit, surely it wouldn't be so powerful. We all change or break habits all the time without too many issues. So maybe it's something a little bit deeper. Is it a coping mechanism, coping strategy? And if so, how's that working? How is it coping? How does picking your skin or pulling out your hair help you to cope with life? Have a little think about that. You might get some insight. So if it is a little more complex than a habit and you can't really logically, rationally see how it's helping you to cope better with life, then what's going on? And a big part of it is because it is generally a subconscious behaviour, and that simply means you don't know often why you do it or even when you're doing it. And it's not uncommon for people to maybe look down at their laps and realise that their lap is covered in hair, or the floor of their car, especially if you've been pulling while you're driving, covered in hair, or maybe even pulling in your sleep. Or you look at your face and you realise how much you've picked a particular spot. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is it is very rarely intentional. You don't intend to destroy your looks, and you care in so many other ways about the face you present to the world. And I guess it's then important to think about whether or not you want to stop. And if you do, what methods will you employ? Will it be willpower? Will it be trying to prevent your hands from actually being able to physically pick or physically pull? There's a load of different methods that people try, including keeping fingernails short, or I don't know, using bandages or plasters on their fingernails, or even using supplements. So how do you propose to stop if it's really important to you to stop? Maybe you've tried those things and nothing seems to work. So that is where you might start to think a little more about what is driving this behaviour, what is lurking beneath the surface of the subconscious mind. And that is where you may get some insight just by thinking about it. It is subconscious. It must benefit you in some way, otherwise you wouldn't carry on doing it. It's all food for thought. And I'll be back with more regular content. I've had my break for Christmas, coming into the new year now. Lots more content, and if you have any questions about skin picking and hair pulling, do feel free to drop me a DM or comment in this video. Okay, bye for now.